Hello, best friends. This is Kimya Motley. I am the CEO of Haven of Light International, and I want to talk to you today about something that really kind of made me mad. I was looking at a news article a couple days ago about why men are abusive, and it really made me start thinking about things that happen in my own life, things that I see on social media that I think we need to address, period. Okay, so before I get started, I want to issue a trigger warning. Now, that means I could say something to you that would elicit like negative emotions from something that you may have felt in your past. And if that happens, I want you to inbox me because I don't want to leave you feeling like that. And I want to be able to help you deal with whatever may come up because of something I say. Okay? All right, so I was reading this article about why men abuse, and like I said, it made me start thinking about things that have happened in my own life. I am a survivor of domestic violence due to gun violence, and the thing about it is, when I was married to my ex-husband, people would ask me things like, why don't you just get a pot of grits and throw it on him? Or they would say things to me like, why don't you just get a frying pan and hit him with it? That's what my grandma used to do. So more or less, they were putting the blame on me for why his behavior was continuing. And then I noticed on social media, a lot of times if people go through any kind of domestic violence, somebody might tag me in the post because they know, I'll help the person. So, I'll notice comments. Like the other day, there was a young lady going through something, and people were doing her the same way. They said, why don't you just leave him? You have a child. You're putting your child at risk. And while it is important to give us resources, give us strategies on how to deal with it. Men need to be given strategies and resources too. I said, where is this collective outrage? Why aren't there messages on social media for him? So I'm going to change that narrative today. Your girl is going to help you come up with some things that you can do when you see abusive behavior going on. Now, how many of you know that you don't just wake up one day to beat up your wife or your girlfriend? You don't just wake up one day to shoot your wife or your girlfriend, right? So there are things that people see when they're growing up that lead them to get to that point. So I think we need to start pointing the finger at him and pointing the finger at us. What's that thing that they say when you point a finger, you got three of them pointing back at you or something like that? I don't know. But we need to start pointing a finger at him for being the abuser and at us for being the bystander. Okay? So here we go. What can you say? So I want to start dealing with some little microaggressions that I see going on with men and women. So, and I'm talking directly to my men here, all right? So when you see women crossing the street, most of us actually don't like it that you shout out to us, talking about body parts, talking about somebody's butt and how big it is, or how fine somebody is, or something like that. That's called catcalling. It is a microaggression. It's a form. It could be like seen as sexual harassment. Most of us don't like it. We don't. So that might be something you want to stop doing. I want you to say, number 2, I want you to save the terms baby, honey, sweetie for your daughter, your wife, or girlfriend, and only if they approve, because nothing gets us more upset than when we go to, let's say, get your car fixed or get an oil change, and the person refers to you as baby or sweetie or honey. I'm not any of those. I like to be addressed by my name. It's Kimya, just like I address you by your name or call you sir or something of that magnitude. And I want you to really think about telling us how to behave. Okay, so when I'm in the store, I am so focused on what it is that I need to get. And I know I should probably have a grocery list or something like that, but I don't. And I'm trying to think about what I need to get. And I might have a look on my face, right? I'm not mad. I'm not disgusted. I don't hate the world. I'm just focused. And almost undoubtedly, I'm going to get someone to come up to me and go, "Hey, baby girl," smile. "Hey, beautiful," smile. I've never seen a woman go up to a man and go, "Hey, dude, you need to smile. Hey, sexy, you need to smile." You see how ridiculous that sounds? Kind of sounds ridiculous when you do it to us too. Okay? So I want you to work on those things. Now, what if you outright see abusive behavior going on? You see, and I don't mean they're in the middle of a fight, because that could be very dangerous for you. So let me be clear. You may not want to actively intervene when there is a fight going on. You may want to call the police, or you might want to go up to her later and say, "Hey, I'm fearful for your safety. Here's some numbers for some domestic violence shelters or some counseling," or something like that. But I'm not advocating for you to actively intervene when they are fighting, because I know of people that have died by doing that. We've seen news reports, so let me be clear. But I mean those behaviors that lead up to something like that. So let's say you are with a friend of yours, and you see him being disrespectful or abusive to his wife or girlfriend. I want you to first tell him what you noticed. You say, "Hey," and I mean later, like you're away from the house, you're not necessarily doing it in front of her. Say, "Hey, I noticed that you put her down in front of me. I noticed that you called her the B word in front of me, or you called her some other names. I noticed that you yelled at her in front of me." Call that behavior out. Okay? Then I want you to ask him, "What made you have that reaction? Where'd you get that from? Did you see that at home with your parents? Did you see that with your homeboys in the street? Where did you get that from?" Call it out. And then tell him how it made you feel. Say, "That made me feel really uncomfortable. Dude, that is not cool for you to say things like that to your wife, your girlfriend." And then sometimes they can't see it. So you've got to reframe it and say, "You know what if somebody talked to your daughter like that? What if somebody talked to your mom like that? What if somebody talked to your grandma like that?" And then they may begin to see their own behavior and realize it's outrageous. Because sometimes, okay, so let me be clear. I grew up in a household where I saw domestic violence going on, so I didn't believe that behavior was abnormal. I thought it was normal behavior. So it's the same thing with men who are abusive. They've seen it somewhere, and they've grown to believe that that behavior is okay. So we've got to call it out. You got to tell them that's not appropriate. That's not cool. And a lot of times that may be all it takes for him to start thinking about his behavior and actively changing it. So that's all I got for you today. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this live talking to you about that. If you have questions for me, you can ask them live right now, or you can inbox me. I will answer every question that you send me. If I'm talking about you, I don't want you to feel any shame or anything about it. Say, "Hey, Kimya, I need some help. Do you have some resources for me?" I can send you over some resources as well. Okay, so if you want to hear more about domestic violence, you can follow me on any of my social media platforms. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn. I'm on YouTube. If you want to get my book, I wrote a book called Born of Violence. Here it is. It went to number 4 on partner abuse within a month of it being released on Amazon. So if you want to get my book, you can get that on Amazon. And I've had so many people ask me about writing a book. So I've written a course on how to write a book, and you can find it up there or down there, depending upon where you're looking. I posted it in the comments. So if you're interested in writing your own story and you would like your girl to help you, I got you. Click on that link for that. Okay, listen, if you want more information, I'm not certain if I said this, so if I'm repeating myself, no, it's because I'm old. So if you want more information on domestic violence, you can go over to our website, havenoflightint.org. If you want information on booking me, you can go to kimyamotley.com. All right, so you can rebuild your life and you can help somebody else stop the violence one day at a time and with God by your side. Till next time, talk to you later. Bye-bye.